Good Sunday morning. I'm Hugh Keaton in for Dave Elliott this week, and we are talking about big money going toward economic development in our state. Joining us from Jackson at the state capitol with his insight, State Senator Brice Wiggins. Thanks for joining us. And of course, we have been talking about this major project in Madison County, a $10 billion investment, potentially creating 1,000 jobs, the Amazon project coming in there. But then also this week, we've just learned about a project coming into the port of Gulfport. Tell us, Brice, what you know about this project, this latest state development coming in, this time to the coast.
Yeah, so it is. Thank you, Hugh. It's good to be with you. The development coming to the port of Gulfport is really a cold storage company that's going to bring millions of dollars to the coast. It's actually a foray back into the cold storage on the coast, and it's going to be for a 60-year lease. And it's really exciting to see. It's just another testament to how things keep progressing and growing here on the coast. On the AWS, it's really fabulous what AWS, Amazon Services, is putting in Madison County. In short, it's a data center. But Hugh, just really the scope of the project and what they're doing is tremendous. And they located in Mississippi, and the benefits to it really beyond the economic value is just really staggering. I think, and one of the reasons that I was supportive of it and voted for it was it's a game changer in Mississippi. I mean, you're talking about the future of the internet traffic and cloud computing, and literally the crossroads of data in the country is going through Mississippi. So it's a couple great announcements.
Yeah, and it's really a new and developing industry there when we're talking about data storage, essentially, and that's for the one biggest companies in the world, talking about Amazon. And this comes after a major economic project also coming to Marshall County in North Mississippi. You also had a special session for that a couple of weeks ago. Right now, what is making Mississippi so attractive, and what's the role in the legislature to attract these big-time businesses?
Well, look, that's a great point you're making. I really think it's about time the national media started to catch on to what's going on in Mississippi. What I think it is, it's a combination of things. Just to be a little bit selfish, I think since the Republicans have taken over and since I've been in the legislature, you have fiscally conservative policies that have put us in a very pretty much the most favorable budget position we've ever been. Our education scores are the highest it's ever been. You've heard about the Mississippi Miracle, but it's also a friendly business environment. You have low taxes, you have low regulation. There are things we need to work on like anything, but what I think you're seeing is the recognition of what we are doing and the policies that we've put in place really for the last decade. And look, I know this isn't maybe what you were asking, but I will put it out there and say that I would say part of it is when we changed the flag. I mean, one of the things that I said back then was we have got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And that was one thing that we no longer have to have being held against us when we're competing with all these industries and development projects.
So the governor continues to push for income tax elimination. He put out his budget recommendations this week. When you have these new economic development projects coming in, that has to be helpful towards the governor's ultimate goal of eliminating the income tax because you have other income sources coming in.
Well, yeah, and look, that's been the governor's argument that if you eliminate the income tax, you're going to see more people and more businesses locate. But I think what we need to be doing is being smart, like we have been. You can do both. You can eliminate taxes and not fully, and you can create a very good, positive, if not great, business environment. And so, these things take time, and I think you're seeing the fruits of that because we've cut the bottom tax brackets over the last, I guess, 5 to 6 years. And so the full elimination is something that we're looking at, and that is going to be an issue this session. But yes, when you have the location of those projects, bringing in that money, and for example, in the AWS project, Canton School District is getting really billions of dollars from where they're locating. And the money that Amazon has brought to the table is really staggering. But they were willing to invest in Mississippi and the future of it. They've put millions and millions of dollars into workforce training to train up the workforce to locate here. So it's really great. But we know, like you said earlier, we've got great projects down here on the coast. And I'm glad to see that the rest of the state is catching up with us.
Okay, and let's try and run through some other issues real quick here. Senator Wiggins, you have the ballot initiative process making its way through the legislature. The Senate is discussing it right now. What's the biggest hangups, do you feel, in preventing this ballot initiative process from going forward?
Well, I don't know that we're there yet. Look, we're way ahead of schedule right now. We haven't even reached the first deadline yet. So I guess to the House's credit, they jumped on that and did it. So it's in the Senate and being referred to the committees, and we're looking at maybe a potential bill of our own. And so we'll see what goes with that. I don't think I sit on the committee that's going to handle it, but it's here for discussion. The people have asked us to do it, but I think we have to be smart about it. And this is some of the discussion going on in the Senate is what exactly do we want to see? People, like I said earlier, since the Republicans have been in charge, largest tax increases ever, not tax increases, tax decreases, largest teacher pay raise, the best balanced budget system we've ever been in. You're seeing all these positive things, and really we've done that in the absence of a ballot initiative, or certainly with those policies coming through that. So we just have to look at these things and take our time, and we've got time to look at it.
And an issue that you're looking to take up specifically, you're working on, is judicial redistricting. Tell me what that is all about and why you're involved in it.
Yeah, well, so why I'm involved is because I'm once again chairman of the Judiciary A Committee, and traditionally and historically, that committee and the chairman have overseen that. And judicial redistricting is required by the Constitution to occur by the 5th year after the census. And so that happened in 2020. And people are familiar with the legislative redistricting that goes on. Well, this is in your courts and the judicial district, your chancery and your circuit courts. That is, the judiciary is a independent branch of government. People have a right to have an effective, equal access to the courts. And so what you have to do is you have to look at them, and just like you do in legislative and congressional redistricting, you have to look at how are the courts set up. And a lot of that deals with the population and the caseload. And really, in a nutshell, the population in Mississippi has changed. Just as an example, the Delta's lost 20% of the population, and the bottom 3 counties have gained 20% in population when we did the 2020 census. So it's a constitutional requirement, but people have a right to have access and to have an efficient and good running court system, and that's what we're charged with doing.
Okay, State Senator Brice Wiggins, thanks for joining us. A lot going on this time at the state capitol.
There is, and look forward to being back with y'all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Brice Wiggins.